So the whole point of this segment that we wanted to make, LARP Days, essentially our days of getting together and creating this LARP that we want to present to the world and to everyone out there to try out. And this game came about in a really abstract fashion for us. And so we wanted with this vlog to follow that process as it evolves instead of just waiting and then doing backlogs of BTS footage and how you would do with traditional short films. So the idea of Homestone, the original thought process behind it was to make a feature film, being as I am first and foremost a filmmaker, and that's kind of how I got into doing YouTube videos and all of that. And so it started out as like this story of this guy who's faced with real world difficulties and decisions. At some cost he decides to go and pursue his dreams, his creative dreams, which include bringing into the world his very own LARP. This LARP, it's going to be a big part of this film, so I don't really want to reach out and license or get rights to use someone else's LARP. I'd much rather make it myself and have it be everything that I want a LARP to be. The experience of LARPing, live action role playing, everything that I imagined it could be and everything that all the LARPs I've been to have been missing. You can kind of work that into making this LARP. So in and of itself, it's this side vision of that core intellectual property, that core idea. So then it kind of naturally evolved from there. We started gearing up to making gaming channels on YouTube, and it became a natural progression to being it's a game, keep making the game, and our style is kind of a vlog style anyway, so decided to really just extend that idea onto the making of the game. And as we build this channel, we're going to be, you know, building new props and costumes and stuff, building the world for our LARP to exist also, so we'll heavily rely on making video material to go with it as well. For our first round, our first step in making this game is, you know, being able to test out the rules that we want to keep and whether or not those rules are kind of fit in with what we like about games and what we don't like about games. By the end of it, by the time we actually publish game, we'll have very clear guidelines on the type of weapons you could have and what materials you make out of to fit our type of gameplay. And it's not, you know, not every boffer weapon is made the same. Not all weapons are even, you know. Some are just as easy to knock someone out as like a branch from a tree, and that's not good. That presents a bad image for the scene, and I very much love the LARP scene, and I don't like the stigmas that are presented onto it. You know, LARPers can be cool in their own right, and I want to show that. That's kind of one of the core vibes in making this game, I guess. So one of the first and foremost things we have to do these playtests is make some weapons. And it'll also be, simultaneously we'll be making the first round of materials used for the game. It's the first physical material manifestation of what Homestone is, you know, weapons from the land of Homestone. And so it's gonna be fun to see what it looks like and how the image progresses through our playtests and our beta testing, and I hope everyone enjoys and like shouts out and gives us tips and stuff for, you know, things that they like and that they don't like, because, you know, it's just as much for everyone else as it is for us.
Not all weapons can have such master craftsmen.
The whole idea of a fantasy world, and you physically immerse yourself in a fantasy world, it's very akin to filmmaking in my eyes. You kind of want to create immersion. You want people to trick people to believing, to suspend suspicion for just enough to have this story and this experience in this world as these characters. And instead of everyone relating to the one hero on the film, you know, everyone gets to be their own hero, their own character. And so what I wanted to bring to it was this mythological fantasy concept, but not fantasy in the sense of wizards and European traditions and knights and that stuff, but more of an Eastern tradition, almost like a Spirited Away or My Neighbor Totoro feel to it, where these spirits live amongst us and go in between the spirit realm and the physical realm, and to have an interaction with them. That sense of fantasy brought into a game when you can have these kind of battle games where it's focused around an arena type battle. And then we take it a step further than that by adding our own flair. We live in Oregon, Eugene, Oregon, and it's super beautiful. Nature is all-encompassing. There's no way you can forget, even in the big cities, that you are just surrounded by highly active natural settings. And so that's an element I wanted to bring into it, and created the storyline, which led into another script that I'm thinking about writing. And that made me think, if I'm going to go out and spend my money and go and hang out in the woods for a weekend, go camping and immerse myself in this game, that's the kind of game I think I would want to go into. And there's really no examples of it, at least in the United States, that I've seen for an experience like that. And there's pretty limited in general experiences for LARPs of different kinds that you can take place in that are full immersive. There's some people that don't do full immersion, and some of the immersions it's so, you know. I don't want to like dog on anyone, but a lot has been left to be desired from these games that I've been at, and that's something I wanted to correct with this game and make it an experience that, you know, I would want to be part of. We have a game that takes some of the parts that we prefer from other games, in that you can have a very small group and that can get together and have it count as an official game and work on a character if you only have, you know, a few friends by you that want to play. Or you can scale it up. You know, it's scalable from small groups to big groups, which is something important. Another thing that feature that I like is having things face value. I don't like there being just this infinite well of spells and stuff that could be thrown at you, to where in the middle of the game you have to break immersion because there's no way to remember every single spell and ability. So this kind of makes it so that there's it's not like you have a Rolodex of abilities and stuff. It's more like you have, you know, a few abilities, but the flavor is really in the style of combat and your weapons and the weapons you pair up with, because it's an arena combat, and the people are putting on a show in the arena, and that's the whole backbone of this culture in this world that we're creating.
You got my knee.
Sword first, but
Franklin. Ah! Oh, you got both my legs, dude. For the torso of the win. 1, 2.
I'm scared. I'm scared. See, I need that distance. One, two.
Oh, that's close.
That's my fourth, and that's the one who's lost. Alright. It's only a flush move. I'm gonna act it out. I'm gonna go for it. Follow our channel and then you'll see way more of these videos. Yeah, if you follow us, that'd be super cool.
Jesus.